continue with the workshop makeover. First thing I want to do actually today, I'll just grab you and have a look, is I want to remove this bench here, because actually on an old butler's sink, and basically just a waste of space. All this whole corner here underneath that bench there is just a void, there's nothing under there. Plus I want to actually look at the wall behind it, see if that crack's bad under there. I've got an engineer coming round to have a look at the actual wall to check on the actual structural integrity. But so the plan is to actually remove this butler's sink, remove the butler's sink here and these support walls, take this whole bench area out. I'm going to actually build a bench, ignore my temporary bench, this table. I'm going to build a full length bench along here to give me a bit more of a working area. They'll clear that space up over here, and I can utilise this corner area by pushing this actual workbench here, the main workbench, over to the right, which will then create a void here, which will be a nice little work area and get more light from the window, etc. So first things first, I'm going to clear the space, move all the stuff from here onto there, and then I'm going to have to move the toolboxes out of the way, empty the bench as much as I can, move the monitor and the stereo, and slide out the way somehow so I can remove the sink and the wall, in theory. So I'm going to sit you back on the tripod and we'll get started. As you can see, that old bit of workbench is now out of the way, and it's pretty disgusting. Lots of dead bees. Lovely cobwebs, quite damp down there, so I've got a lot of cleaning to do I think as well first. But the actual crack in the wall isn't actually too bad there. See if I can get around that bit. It's not too bad, I can see it there. Goes up to that bit there, so that's going to need some attention, but it's not as bad as it is on the outside, so that's quite cool. Right, next step, see if I can remove some of this crappy old timber, whatever this is. Obviously a support for something at one time. And then what I have to do is cut all these pipes, so they're not actually connected, these pipes anymore, and the drain, so I have to cut all those out so I can move this bench as far right as I can. But first of all I'm going to remove these tins of paint, get them out of the way, see if I can remove this bench here, and then see about actually lifting the butler's sink out. Well, that was fun. An old lead pipe, I had to cut it off in the end. I couldn't actually get the bolt on the bottom of the actual drain to actually undo, so I had to cut it off in the end. So it was a little bit of a messy job. It's all coming out now, but it's all released. It's all loose, so it's just a case of manhandling it out, then removing these two little walls, having a good clean up, removing that water feed pipe as well. I'll probably just cut it down to about there I think, and then it can be capped at some point, so then the table will go over the top of that to hide that out of the way. It's not used, it's not even plumbed into anything, so just in case I do need water at any point it can be re-plumbed in, but I doubt it, it'll have to be redone if I do. Right, so see if I can get this sink out of the way. was heavy. Well, that's a lot better. That was bloody heavy, that sink on the wall. So I've just got this bit of wall come out now, which is quite stubborn, so I'm going to have to chisel that one out, I think. Then I've got to trim that pipe there, tidy up all under there, sweep it all up, probably get the vacuum out, see if I can get this piece of wood off. That's not holding the actual wall up, I don't know. And then give it a coat of paint, I think, maybe seal these up. I've got some acrylic crack seal, so I'll probably whack a load of that in there as well, just to neaten it up a bit. But yeah, we're getting there. It's going to be a lot better than it was. Give it a bit more room, make it look a bit more spacious in here. I've got to fill that hole as well where the actual drain was. Stop the old mices getting in. So I'll fill that as well with the same acrylic filler. Alright, it's a nice job. See if I can knock this wall out. Probably use a sledgehammer on that, I think. Just give it a little gentle tap. This little piece here I've got to get out. I'm going to fill that hole there as well as best I can. I'm going to pull the actual workbench out of the way. Even Jimmy looks shocked. That's quite cool. Oh, so I think I'm going to have a quick cup of tea, get some energy back, smash that last piece out, and then I'll pull the workbench forward, clean up, get the vacuum out, vacuum all the little bits and pieces all around here, vacuum all the holes out, and then I'll give it a good coat of paint and seal all the cracks as best I can. So I've used the acrylic bond in the cracks. They're not actually too bad, these ones here, they're just little hairline cracks. That one there, I've put quite a bit of the actual acrylic bond in. It's the actual other side of this which is the worst point, so hopefully when the engineer comes around he'll be able to fix that and tie it all together. Trimmed off that pipe, so now I'm going to give it a good coat of white emulsion just to clean it all up, brighten it all up, and then slide this unit that way or to the right into the corner, and I should be able to move it back a good 4 or 5 inches, because that's where that piece of wood was along there. I don't think it was holding the wall up, I think it was just there for a previous shelf, so I'll just move that further back, give me a little bit more room on this side as well. The paint I'm going to be using is just bog standard, interior paint, bright white. It should be fine, I think. Used it on the walls above there and they really brightened it up, so I think this will make a hell of a difference once it's painted. So a quick coat of whitewash has just made a hell of a difference. I mean, it's so much better. Looks like I have got a bit of a water leak here. You can see it's all running down there, so that's something I'm going to have to look at. I'll probably have to cut this piece of timber out here, get rid of the old spiders. There you go. Oh. And probably put some plastic or something behind that. See if I can stop that from leaking in. But yeah, I'm pretty happy so far. It looks really nice and bright. So what I'm going to do now is try and move the workbench over, and then I'm going to try and move that shelf unit over as well. Well, that was fun. Didn't fill my bag because it was a little bit annoying and a bit heavy work, so it gives me a chance now to clean out underneath there, clean the top of the tool cabinets, get them back in place, and then this shelf unit here I'm going to move over to the right, flush up with this side, have to have painted all behind it and cleaned it all. And the corner cabinet here is then going in that corner there. This unit here is then moving this way, and the tools are moving to approximately about there. So that corner cabinet's taking up too much room, and it should really be in a corner. But behind there as well is where the other crack is, so while that's out, I'm probably going to leave that open for a while so the engineer can have a look at that crack in the wall. Okay, so a little bit more cleaning, tidying up, sort out all these wires. Happy with that, looks a lot nicer, a lot cleaner. Gives me more space in this area. Once it's all tidy and everything's put away, you can really tell more of a difference. Moved across, looks a lot better, a lot cleaner now. I've got to do something with the lino, the floor, and probably have to get another piece probably, because that's where that wall bit was there. So imagine the sink came to here, so I've got all this nice clear space now. It's going to make the place look a lot bigger. But now this is all nice and clean and tidy, I've got all that crap over there to sort. So the next step is I'm going to build a nice workbench that's going to go basically from the back of the door here all the way top of the tumble dryer to the back of the wall there. It's about 2 meters long, so I'm going to build a nice bench there. I can store all the old parts and things underneath. I've got to sort through all that and get rid of some old crap and bin it all. Get rid of the old engine oil as well. I can put that out for recycling, and then hopefully that should neaten it all up, make a nice little work area there for mixing paint, soldering, and rebuilding engines and parts, etc. I was thinking about having a door put through here, but until the engineer comes and whether the actual place is actually structurally sound, I don't think I'm going to attempt that, because the building is really old, so we shall see about that. But I think that workbench along there is going to make a hell of a difference. It's going to neaten everything up, clear a lot of space. But I'm really happy with that. It's come out really nice. So next step now, I've got to try and paint that area there, sort this shelf unit out here, and then slide that unit, this unit, over flush with this cabinet here. Like I say, I'll move the corner cabinet into the corner. So it's the next day, and as you can see, I've actually swung this shelf unit over 90 degrees just out of the way, because look at that, found that behind the shelf, which is pretty bad. The engineer is supposed to be here this afternoon. It was supposed to be last week, but now they're saying it's this afternoon, so we'll see. But I can actually feel actual air coming through there, so that's basically straight through. You can actually see daylight through that bit, so it's not an actual straight crack, it's probably at an angle, but still not brilliant. And then on this side, behind the cabinet, there's that one. You can see where it was attempted to be repaired before, but it's all moving. So it looks to me as if the whole building is shifting that way, but we'll have to see what the engineer says, see what they're going to do. So also the timber's turned up for the workbench, so I'm going to start measuring that up, cutting that to size, and I'm going to build a nice 2 meter workbench to go from here. I've got this temporary one there all the way to the end there. I put the cupboard that was on top of there underneath there, so I'm going to keep all my power tools and things in there as well. I think it'll be a lot neater. Okay, so I'm going to start measuring the timber up, and I'm going to start making the bench. So making the bench is a pretty easy process really. Just cut two lengths at 2 meters long, and then the leftover was a 400, this is 2.4 meter length, so basically use that as my width. So that'll be the top section of the actual table. Now these other pieces Just make 4 legs with a couple of braces. That should be plenty. Should be nice and sturdy. This is just stud wall wood, so it's quite cheap. I think it's about £2.50 a length of 2.4 metres. So the whole table plus the actual top, I think that was probably £7 for this bit of chipboard. So the whole table is going to cost me less than £15 to make. Plus, you know, a box of screws, a little bit of time. Okay, so I'll cut the legs to length, whatever height I need. So I'm going to probably go slightly higher than this. So I've got a little bit of storage room underneath here as well. I'll brace the legs across the middles, just give them a bit of extra sturdiness, and then put it in place. So there's the workbench all built and in place. Just got some tidying to do now. I'm going to sort of neaten this shelf at the back here. Do a longer piece of link along there, just to neaten that off, like an L bracket on the back of it, I think. And the engineer's just been about the wall, and at the moment there's not much they can do about it. He thinks it's safe. He thinks the actual ivy on the outside is actually holding the building together, so what they're going to do is send somebody around and try and glue it back together on both sides, and then see what happens over time, see if it gets any worse. So in the meantime I'm going to put my shelving back where it was, put the corner cabinet in the corner like we said, and then hope and pray it stays up and don't fall down. So I'm pretty much done in here. I think that looks really nice, so much cleaner and neater. It's nicer in that corner. Yeah, the crack's still there, which I'm trying not to think about. Quite fun actually getting the actual workshop sorted. A little bit neater and tidier. I think you'll agree. Looks a lot nicer, a lot cleaner, a lot brighter with the new lights up as well. Still got a little bit to tidy up, some parts to get rid of. So I'm going to move the bonnet into the metal shed next door. Still got some decorating to do. This crack in the wall's got to be fixed as well. Then I'll whitewash the whole thing. I was going to have the doorway put through here, but I don't think that's going to be possible with the actual state of the structure of the building, so I'll probably have to rethink that. May do a door through the side of the actual garage instead, but we'll come to that in another video. I've also moved the punch bag into the corner, so I've got more room here. I'm going to get rid of this filing cabinet, then I'll put the heater against the wall there. The bonnet will be going in the lockup as well, so it should give me a lot more room in this corner as well. Also got a little mascot in here, don't know if you can see him. Little toady down there. He potters about in here, keeping the bugs at bay. I don't mind him actually being in here, staying in here. He obviously is quite happy in here, he goes on a little pool, etc. He must be coming through that hole in the wall, I think. Running through there, so when we do cement that up I'll make sure he's put somewhere safe outside, but definitely not today because it's one of the hottest days of the year out there today. Probably just dry out really quick. Right, I think the workshop looks a lot better, I think you'll agree. A lot neater and cleaner. Still got a lot of sorting and things out to do, you know, get rid of some parts, but the metal shed next door, the lock-up shed, I've got to get that all sorted. That might be in another video, probably come to that at a later date. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's come out. A lot neater and tidier. So please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. And don't forget to wash your hands.